All investors start as prey and gradually climb the food chain. So 16 years of having bought my first stock before I realized my first double, like 16 years. I was like pretty obsessed with it. Management's always bullish. That's their job, right? So discount that. I guess three times a resource stock is going up is one, if the commodity prices are rising, two, if there's a real discovery, or three, if the stock's being promoted well.
How do you deal with the geology though? Because I mean, you're not a geologist. I'm not a geologist either.
I
So
think it's an advantage that we're not. You don't need to be a technical expert in our space, and technical experts oftentimes preclude themselves. They poo-poo things that do work. We had geologists, like real geologists, tell us that Lithium X was a scam and it was sold for $270 million. And one opinion doesn't make the trade wrong. I'm not taking anybody's word as God. I'm making my own call. And one thing that's so valuable about having technical friends is that they can give you a nudge about it. It's easy to get lucky in a penny stock, right? It's not like you have to be a genius to pick a five bagger in a penny stock. Sometimes you just get the market right and it works, but I think most of the space is untouchable. Like, you don't want to buy. This is not where you inherit your family fortune and put it all into junior resource stocks. They're all serially diluting pigs for the most part, with occasionally exceptional outcomes. It's very difficult to be a buy and hold investor in the junior space because of dilution. I know all the company people, they want long-term shareholders, but the history has shown that it's not smart to be a long-term shareholder unless you've got one of the 1 in 100 discovery stories. You shouldn't buy 20 names because you need diversification. You should buy one thing that makes sense at a time with not too much capital that you'll be wiped out if things don't work out. Price is the most important thing, right? How much is the stock worth today? And what could or should it be worth? It's a lot easier to get a 100 bagger from a 2 million market cap going to 200 than a 200 million market cap going to 20 billion. Right? I like when the historical investment is much greater than the current market valuation. You plant your seeds in the depths of the bear markets, and you reap your harvest when people are interested in the space. Like, so few people that are focused on our business. Like, this is why I really like it, is because it's easy to be a big fish in this pond. I'm a very average IQ person who doesn't have a technical background in the mining sector. If you're in the right deals, this sort of cycle defining discoveries and the big stories, you get the big outcomes. And so how does that happen? It's if you're tuned into the space, that you'll get a ticket to all these trains. Not a secret that the greatest amount of wealth in the resource sector accrues to prospectors, brokers, and promoters, right? That's just a fact. That's the inside. Well, you can't beat them, join them, right? The greatest wealth creation in the world is starting a business with people. The resource space is like musical chairs. These projects are always changing hands, and new companies are starting and fading away. Speculators rush into new mysterious deals, and like old, more advanced known ones struggle in the market. But I think a lot of money is made in the formation of new companies and new ideas, and there's only three things that go into doing that. And mining issuer is people, projects, and capital. There's so many issuers that have forgotten projects that just aren't getting any value, and particularly in larger cap companies, there's great advanced projects that everybody's forgotten about, that if they were in a junior would be really interesting. This business is full of past failures,
sure.
and that's why it's better for someone that doesn't have much to lose, because once you're investing size into the space, what it can give, it can take away too. I'm not going to take any promoter's message at that face value. I have to discount it and put it together with the other information, such as what's the price? I don't mean the share price. I mean, what's the market cap? How much cash does it have? I put it in context with other companies that are like it. Do they have a plan to lower their cost of capital, to market the story? And that's really changed in the 10 years that I've been around. And institutional investors now want the companies to market. Don't create awareness for themselves. There's no market for the shares. If there's no market for the shares, they have way more expensive cost of capital. The share price goes down and they have to dilute themselves more to raise money. There are billions of investors out there, and most issuers don't know how to reach them and don't try. And makes a huge difference to your market price, whether you can reach those. Like right now, intuitively, I feel like I should be scaling up my speculations because I don't know, things are starting to get cheaper and like the commodities seem like they're doing better. Market's kind of perking up generally. I just feel like intuitively I should be leaning in a little. I'll try anything. I want to, if it's an early opportunity at the right price. Like I'm very passionate about writing stories about small cap wealth creation on thebigscore.com, and I would encourage anybody listening to subscribe to thebigscore.com. I created CEO.ca for regular investors to have better access to information. And I think it's the coolest tool for speculators in Canadian market. Like I'm not like that loyal. If I make the money in the stock, I want to turn it into cash and pay tax and buy something safe. I do. Do you cry about the 100 you made because it wasn't 3? I'd like it to be at risk for the shortest amount of time possible, right?